Good morning, good afternoon, and in case I don't see you, good evening. I know that some of you are waking up right now, and some of you are just going to bed, and some of you already been awake for a few hours if you're in the western side of the hemisphere. This is your flexitarian friend, Jay Tanti. I'm going to show you how to make a delicious, easy recipe for Father's Day. So if you haven't figured out what you're gonna cook for Father's Day, this is gonna be the one. So I'm going to use the 11-inch skillet, which is already, I have the water boiling here. Normally for pasta, you have to fill up like a whole big pot of water, and then after the water is boiled, you throw some salt, and then you're gonna throw the pasta, and you leave it uncovered and cook it. It's too much work, too much work, too much work. So nowadays, everything has to be fast, easy, and delicious. No fuss, no mess. So what we do first is we boil the water. So once the water is boiled, so let's see how boiling it is. And in this time, I'm not gonna put a lot of water. So if you notice, I'm using the 11-inch skillet. So the 11-inch skillet is about this deep. So you put approximately only about half of the water, fill up the skillet with. So here you go. So you see how much water is in there? Not a lot. Now, the thing is, you always have extra boiling water, especially for me, since I've been boiling this water for a while. Some of it evaporated, the valve clicked, and it went into steam. So super easy. I'm gonna use Bucatini. You can use fettuccine, you can use spaghetti, you can use whatever you want. So for me, I'm going to use a whole package of Bucatini. So this is the thick one with the little hole in the middle, which is very delicious. I love it because when you put the sauce goes through the inner tube, and when you bite into it, it's a very juicy, and it's also very creamy. So the idea is fan your pasta first. I know that normally you want to put a bunch of water, like I said, and then you want to like dip it into water. That's not how I do my pasta. I've been doing this pasta like this forever and a day because I know a lot of pasta is enriched with some vitamins, some minerals, but what happened after you boil, kind of like potatoes, you boil them, you throw away the water, then you throw in those minerals that are really important for your diet. So rather than burning your hands, what do we want to do? Use the tongs. I love these. Very expensive, but the highest quality. These are made in Germany. Before, whenever I went like this, they're actually stuck together, but now it lost this elasticity, I guess. Kind of like human beings over time, we lose elasticity. So, okay, so the idea is keep some water boiling just in case you need a little extra, because sometimes, like I say, if it evaporated, you know, very important that you recover some of that moisture, because when you put this little water, which is half the skillet full, you won't need to throw away any water. So I'm giving you a one-step way to cook your pasta, because normally, like I said, you boil the water, then you put the pasta, and then once the pasta is cooked, you throw that water, and then you add your sauce to your pasta. This is not how I'm going to do it. So I put less water, so that way the water will be absorbed by the pasta, and whatever minerals were enriched into this pasta, I get to keep them, okay? So if you wouldn't want to break the noodles, because some people, they're kind of superstitious, they like the long life noodles, so then I like to keep them intact. To me, I like the long noodles because it reminds me of Lady and the Tramp. Remember, they're eating the noodle and each of them end up with the same noodle. It was such a cute movie. So anyway, so just keep on just like pushing it until it's all the way down. You will cook this pasta for 10 minutes, especially Bucatini is very thick and it's gonna take a little bit longer, okay? So what you wanna do is with the Bucatini is cook it for 10 minutes, let it rest for 10. But that's if you're using like the old method with a bunch of water. But for me, see, that's my water boiling. For me, I'm going to give it about 15 minutes with the heat, and then I'm gonna turn it off for 5. In the meantime, I'm gonna do the sauce. Now, speaking about the sauce, you know how many times I made this Alfredo with, I've done it with heavy cream, I've done it with half and half, I've done it with coconut cream as well. And so the idea is this time is I don't have any cream, and I didn't go to the store to buy it, because to me, to go and waste half an hour to go to the store, come back and do this, I already wasted time. So instead, I'm going to improvise. I'm going to use sour cream, which I have, and I'm going to use yogurt, which I have a lot. So, and also it's gonna be less fat, and it'll be delicious. You know, the idea is to have something creamy. So even coconut cream would work for you, but in this case, I don't want the coconutty flavor of the cream. You know why? Because I'm going to use truffle oil, and truffle oil is, you know, you can't have it compete with any other flavor. In fact, when I use truffle oil, I actually use less garlic, because otherwise the garlic will take over the flavor of that. So there you go. So notice I don't need to put any more water. So for 10 minutes, we're gonna let this pasta cook now, okay? So you can add your timer right now, and then you can send me a message when it's 10 minutes, okay? So while this is cooking, so notice not a lot of water. I have my boiling water in case I need it, because it's too al dente. Because like I say, I kind of boiled it off a little bit while I was waiting to go on air. Okay, so that way they all also make sure that all the noodles are separated. It's a myth. If you have high quality pasta, it's a myth that you need to put oil in your pasta while it's cooking. But what I will put is a tiny little bit of sea salt. Do not put a lot, because remember, we're gonna put cheese in there, and the cheese that I'm using is pecorino, and it's gonna be a little bit on the salty. So look at how much salt I'm gonna use. That's a tiny little bit, okay? So now it's gonna cook for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna move the camera a little bit so you can see when I go and grate the cheese. Okay, I hope that suffices. Yes, it does. So maybe perhaps I will put it a little bit of a close-up so you can see a little bit better. So you see the pasta is already cooking, and never put the lid on the pasta, okay? Not only because it will boil over, but it also will make your pasta really sticky, okay? So we're gonna use the #1 cone. So you just put it in there, and then I left a little bit of the plastic on the pecorino cheese. I hope you can see it. And so this is a lot easier than you grinding it with a knuckle buster, okay? And also it is fresher and more delicious than you buying it in a bag. So look at that. I just took a little piece, and a little piece goes a long way, okay? So take this off, take this other part off. And so we have our cheese ready. And so we're gonna be back here so you can see me again. So this is almost absorbing all the water. Believe me, once you try this method of how to make the pasta like this without a bunch of water, you're gonna love it, because you won't have to like burn yourself, and you won't have to dump anything. Okay, so here's my cheese ready. Now remember how I told you I don't have any cream right now, so I'm gonna make a cream base. By the way, while the pasta is halfway cooked, that's when we're gonna throw the frozen shrimp. Because frozen shrimp, frozen prawns, you can do scallops. Honestly, you can do whatever you want. Even fish you can put on the Alfredo. So you notice how that water is evaporating quite a bit. I'm also going to need some garlic. So we take some garlic. So when I buy my garlic, I buy in bulk, and then I put it on mason jars, put it in the freezer. When I need it, I take it out, and I'll have like 2 or 3 jars sometimes going in the freezer, but this will never go bad. I've had the garlic that was pre-frozen, that I pre-froze myself from fresh to frozen, and it's still beautiful. Okay, so let's add some garlic to this to these spaghettis or bucatini. Okay. And then use our Saladmaster scissor to take that. So mix it really good in there. So you notice how it's starting to, the water is evaporated. But my pasta, make sure that it's fully cooked. If it's not fully cooked, then I add a little bit of water. Like I say, when I was waiting to go online, some of the water evaporated. But I can tell that it's like a little bit on the hard. But then bucatini is a little bit hard. Not too bad. Okay, next thing that I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna add a tiny little bit of water. Not a lot, maybe just half a cup, what I lost. Okay, so this is almost done. So, because this is almost al dente already, I'm gonna get my frozen shrimp. Just take it from the freezer. This is Argentinian. They don't have a lot. That's how you do it. Why skimp? It's bad, right? So cover it. And so now I'm talking like cover the shrimp or the prawns. These are really large prawns. So cover them with the hot pasta. So notice how a lot of the sauce is already evaporated, but the bucatini is still a little bit hard, so add a little bit more water. It's okay. It's gonna turn out perfect. Take a little bit of black pepper. And then just keep on cooking. There's enough water now there to cook the shrimp. Meanwhile, we are going to make that sauce. We're gonna use some sour cream, and I need a spatula. You can in fact lower the heat and cover it for a little bit because there's no water, it's not going to overboil. So take some sour cream, which, like I said, this is approximately 1 cup left in there. And then I'm gonna take some yogurt and get a one scoop, which is about 3/4 of a cup. And then what we'll do is you're going to mix it, okay, just so you know. You're going to mix it, and usually heavy cream is very sweet. The idea is just to put something creamy in there, and you can take some of the white truffle oil. Oops. And then we're gonna mix it. This is gonna give it a really beautiful flavor. And I can smell it already. It's incredible. Truffle oil. It's so strong it made me sneeze. Okay. Keep this at keep it at low. And so if you like, thin it up a little bit. This is when you're improvising, okay? But other than that, you want to use heavy cream or whipping cream, not whipping cream, heavy cream, which is called whipped cream, or half and half. So you notice how it went from like really thick to now a beautiful light sauce. If you want, you can add a pinch of nutmeg. In fact, why not? If I have it, yes. And so that way, put it in your finger first, because otherwise this will be too much. Okay, let's check on that. On these guys, there's still plenty of water in there. And the shrimp, it's looking really beautiful. Look at that. Starting to defrost. Look at those. They're huge. You can use chicken if you're allergic to shrimp, then do chicken, but the chicken, make sure that it's already cubed and cut up. Okay, so give it a little bit. I want this to steam up a little bit. In the meantime, I get my sauce here. I'm gonna take some butter, and then we're gonna do a garlic butter for the garlic toast. So, what you wanna do is preheat the 1 quart. Preheat it at medium high, it's okay. And then we're gonna take some of the garlic, maybe a few, like 5 or 6. And we're gonna throw them into the 1 quart, just like that. It'll give you time for the sauce to be ready. I mean, for the spaghetti. I know that you wanna see this part. 1 more. Super easy. And now we'll take some butter and let that melt so we can put it, brush it in the bread. Take a quarter of that butter and put it in your pasta. This is looking amazing. Now we're ready to add that sauce. Look at how nice and thick. You can put blue cheese if you like. You can do blue cheese as well. And look at how creamy. So you don't need to use heavy cream. Like I said, you can use even, use coconut cream if you have no heavy cream, if you're not in a country where milk is available, or if you're allergic to milk. It's looking good. So let that cream heat up a little bit. Get the shrimp going. Look at that, how easy that is. And we're gonna add a little bit more of the truffle oil. Get it out of the way. And so turn off we're turning off the butter. So that way we can take some of this stuff out. And so I have some crusty bread that you have to bake it. This is like already cooked, the shrimp. And then we're gonna add the cheese in a moment so it'll thicken the sauce. Okay, so just keep it. Let's do the bread. So we'll take some of the garlic butter right here. Garlic toast. I like to burn the butter a little bit so it smells amazing. It smells like lobster, actually. Put it in the toaster. 6 minutes. And so now Make sure that you mix this really well. If you have any leftover like butter, garlic butter, just throw it in there. So let's do the extra garlic butter. Why not? Then add some queso, some cheese, and you can actually bake this stuff. So look at how beautiful. Now this cheese and the butter will just thicken. And if you wanted to keep it warm, you can actually throw a little layer of cheese and put it in the oven. So I'm gonna show you right now how creamy and delicious it is. Bring it real quick to high. A little bit more black pepper. And let's serve it up. I'm gonna show it to you first because I'm waiting for the toast. And look at this beautiful, gorgeous, look at how wonderful they cooked. And they're huge. You can get the little ones, but I like the big ones better. Give it a quick little turn. And notice I didn't have to drain any pasta. I didn't have to do anything. So remember to fill it up to medium. Since you're not going to be doing a video, you're not going to evaporate the water. So fill the skillet halfway. Bring it to boil. Throw the pasta right away. Leave it cook and uncover. And then cook for 10 minutes. For spaghetti, 10 minutes. Let it sit for 5. But if it's bucatini, I usually like to do cook for 10 and then let it rest for 5 because I'm going to be adding more stuff. So let me show you. I'll turn that off so I don't burn myself. Now look at how thick and beautiful and delicious. It does look fantastic. And now for a Father's Day treat. Hope you can see this. In fact, I'm gonna bring you a little bit closer. Even though you might not see me, but at least you can see the dish. So this is perfect for a birthday, Father's Day. Make sure that Dad gets the most shrimp. And there you have it. Look at this beauty. Absolutely gorgeous, absolutely delicious. And the toast is not done, but the dish is already done, so we cannot wait. So instead of me waiting for the toast, I'm going to, waiting for the toast with you. What I'm gonna do is, if you have any questions, put them in there. If you like this video, remember to love, like, and share. And if possible, have a watch party in your timeline. This is how it works. And it works really beautiful because if you share this video and you share it to your personal timeline, not to my Saladmaster owners or the Happy Cooking Club, you don't need to tag me, you tag yourself. Basically, you share it, and then you put your name in there so it's highlighted, and then you share it to your timeline, and then when people have questions, they ask you questions directly to you, especially if you are a Saladmaster owner or a Saladmaster cooking coach, then people will be able to call you directly rather than them inquiring with me. So only if you like it, share it, love it, and have a watch party in your timeline. So my toast, it says that it's ready, but honestly, I like it a little toasted more. So anyway, so let's clean this up. Beautiful. Put a little bit of pepper, a little bit of more pecorino, pepper if you like. Serve it family style, and there you have it. Thank you for watching. I love you all. This is your flexitarian friend, Jay Tanti. Have a happy, healthy, and wealthy day. Ciao. Stay happy, stay blessed.